Thanks, Danny. Hey, everybody. Really glad to be able to chat with you guys again another Wednesday to learn a little bit more about our PhotoBiz system. Today we're going to talk all about backgrounds on your website, custom backgrounds, the backgrounds that we offer, and kind of what you can do with them, how they can really enhance your website. So we're going to just start off just talking a little bit about your run-of-the-mill background. So you should always remember that a good background is going to showcase your work, not overshadow it. So that's really, really important thing to remember. This is one of my personal favorite backgrounds, Southern Rose images. You can find them at asouthernrose.com. Just really pretty. As you can see, it's a very, very light background. It almost fades into this dark taupey color, but as you come closer to her images, you see the lace or the damask that she has here. And of course, this was all created in Photoshop. And you'll learn that a lot of these things do take some creativity and some time within your photo manipulation program in order to create these. And so it's a really simple upload. And so let's chat about how easy it is to upload your background. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into my PhotoBiz account. I'm going to log in just like you guys would do. And I'm going to hop right into my control panel. So you can have a background on several portions of your website or store. You can have a background on your actual website. You can have a background on your splash intro. They don't necessarily have to even be the same background. It could be totally something different. You can have a background on your store or blog. And also you can have a background against your logo in your store or blog. And we're going to touch on a little bit of all of these. So right now, I'm viewing my site, and you know, it's pretty okay. It probably can use some pizzazz. It's got the standard gray background for this template, and I got my logo here at the bottom, and it's doing okay. I really want to dress it up though. So I have created a logo or a background that looks a lot like my logo, and I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and upload it. Now, instead of using my background with my logo, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to create my background with the logo already on it. And this benefits me or you as a client, because when you're creating your website, sometimes the logo space in your template can leave a lot to be desired. Sometimes it's not the right spacing for your template, maybe, for your logo. Maybe your logo's up and down and the template you really want to use requires it to be long. So this is a great way to kind of get around those barriers that you get with the logo upload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to my control panel, and I'm going to go to the settings icon and the background image image selection and upload. And here I'm going to go to upload a new background. So I'm going to browse, and I have created a website background already with my logo, and I'm just going to go ahead and upload it. Now please keep in mind that these backgrounds, your most optimum maximum dimensions that they should be are 1500 pixels by 865 pixels. Just like you would upload an image with our uploader, that's going to be the best dimension for any image you upload, no matter what portion of the site it's going to be on. So this particular, here in the background as well, you always want to stay with those 1500 by 865. And if you forget, it's not a problem. It's right here above your upload box. So now I'm going to preview my site. And there is my new background with my logo already on it. Oh, I did forget to take off my old logo, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and delete that. And refresh my preview. And now I have a new background on my site. Just kind of gives my site a little bit of more personation of who I am. It comes across my personality, maybe even showcases my images a little better. But at the same time, I'm getting my logo in there in the spacing that I wanted to at the top of the page. And I'm also able to add a footer to my site, which I couldn't before. A lot of our full screen templates don't have footer text boxes. So this is also a great way to get around that restriction by putting it on your background. So I put my footer on here as the address of where you can find me with my phone number and my email address and my logo at the top. Now, as you can kind of see, as my images are kind of flying through, they can be covering up some of my logo here. Like this image, it's cutting off my J. So there are some things we can do. Of course, I could go back into Photoshop and maybe readjust what I want in my logo. Or I can work within the settings that are here in our control panel. In the website, under settings, there's also an option here for background image settings. Well, right now, I have it to stretch to fit and show all. So maybe that might be the best one for my particular image and my particular background. But we're going to try some others just to see if maybe it improves that cutting off of my logo. So I'm going to put it on show all and update my background. And now I'm going to refresh my preview and see if that fixed the issue. Well, that definitely didn't. It's showing all of the image, and my image is 1500 pixels by 865, and so you'll see it's all the way up here. Can't see that at all. So I'm going to try maybe scale to fit next and refresh. And again, we're having the same issue there. So the best one for this particular background is going to be the stretch to fit option. And oops, I just closed my control panel. So that was going to be the best one for my particular size. And you'll notice that when you go into your website and you start putting up your backgrounds, you're going to be able to play with those settings. And it's really going to help you a lot as far as to make your background look exactly the way you want it to. Bear with me for just a sec. Hop back into my control panel here. And every place where you can put a background will have these background settings that you can adjust to make sure that your background looks the correct way. And that is nice because it could be that you have it automatically set to scale to fit. You have sized your background correctly. Maybe all you have to do is change it to stretch to fit, and then your background is looking exactly the right way. So because my images are kind of cutting off my logo here at the top, I'll probably end up going back into Photoshop and maybe adjusting that a little. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how my background looks. So that was just a quick tutorial kind of showing you how to upload backgrounds and play with them within the site. Of course, you don't have to upload your own background. Here at PhotoBiz, we've provided you with a bunch of stock backgrounds for you to choose from. A lot of them are really, really cool, and we've seen a lot of great success just with our the stock backgrounds. There's some really, really neat things you can do with them. And of course, using one of these stock backgrounds is just a one-click choice. You choose the one you want. Perhaps you would like autumn leaves. You select it. You update your background settings. You can refresh your page, and voila, your website already has its new background, already giving it a different look automatically. So that's another really kind of great way. If you have a logo you really like and you just want to add some pizzazz, but maybe you don't have time to create a background, this is a great way. We have lots of really, really neat ones in our stock. And you're going to learn that we're going to get more all the time. We'll be continuing to add stock backgrounds for both Flash, HTML, and for the store and blog. So this bank is going to continue to grow, and that's really, really great. So I'd like to show you a couple of websites that utilize some of our stock backgrounds, and they're done very beautifully. This is Benjamin Aho Photography. he utilizes the background that is the wood background. And it's really cool because it really just helps show off his work. As you can see, it goes darker in the corners, and it just really shows a really dramatic effect. It's a little bit more dramatic than just a plain black background. So it's a cool way to get a neat effect. And of course, he did it just with that one click, and there you go. He has a really cool wooden background like that. Another really cool website that uses one of our stock backgrounds is HeleneDujardin.com. And Helene is using the linen background that we offer. And as you can see here, basically it just helps set the tone of her site. Helene does more professional food photography, and so she doesn't need anything too bright or too crazy. She just wanted to showcase her work, but she didn't want just a plain white background. So instead she put up in this linen background that we offer, and it just gives it a really nice feel to her site. That one's done really, really well. So it's always important to show your personality in your work and on your website, because that's how people get to know you better. And this is something you really can do through a background as well. Here, I love this site. It's called skyphotography.co.uk. Sky Photography, they just have really taken a lot of awesome time in regards to their custom background. So what Sky Photography has done here is they have created this really neat blue and brown paisley effect with the brown paper here, almost like a torn up folder, as part of the effect. Then they just chose the template of their choice, and this is just a really cool template because it allows them. It's just showcasing the images against that really cool background. So even though the background is stunning, it's not taking away from the images itself. You're still enjoying your images, but you're appreciating the plate. It's kind of like an awesome meal on a beautiful plate. You really appreciate the meal when it's on a really pretty plate. So that's kind of what's going on here. You're just really appreciating her imagery against this really cool backdrop that she's created. Another really beautiful site that uses a background to show their work is epcphotos.com, and they have this beautiful like swirly, florally background in almost like a denim color, and it really does fade into the background once her images come up. So her images are her forefront. You're not losing anything from having this background, but in a way it shows you her artistic appeal as well. So really cool way to show off your work this way as well is through having a really cool contrasting background. Another really nice way of using a background is by using it on a splash intro. So far we've seen websites with backgrounds, but this one is one that I really like a lot. This one is done on the splash intro only. Lisa Gallagher is this is Lisa Gallagher at lisagallagher.co.uk, and she's really setting the tone of her website before you even enter it with her splash intro. You can tell, obviously, she does children and baby photography. It's very whimsical with the butterflies and the polka dots and the dandelions. So what she has done here, she's created this bit here, the box and her logo and the dots and the butterflies, all in Photoshop, and she has uploaded it to her Splash Intro background upload. She then created 2 intro links that both associate one picture with it. So one intro link that goes to her portrait photography and one intro link that goes to her lifestyle photography. So this is a really cool way that she has used her splash intro not only to kind of set the tone for her site, but also presents her links in a really interesting way. It's much different than just having a few pictures up there and then, you know, click here to go here, click here to go here. She really did set it almost like in a framework, and it's a really, really great way to do it. So when you are thinking about using backgrounds in your site, think about how all the different aspects you can use that background, whether it's on your splash intro or in your website itself or even in your store. You know, these are all really great ways to kind of show the personality. And just for example, since this is her splash intro, this is her splash intro background, but she does not bring it over to her website. She has a totally different motif with her website, and which is fine as well. I mean, obviously she's keeping her logo and stuff, but really her background of her splash intro is something that's really unique and really beautiful, and that's really cool. That's a really neat way to do that. You can also use your backgrounds in your store or blog. This one is Marcherie Studios. She has created a background, or perhaps she found this, or this is maybe even just a photograph she took. It kind of looks like a floral leather almost. You can see it's kind of beaded. But and this is what she's used as a background. Now, the really cool thing that you have in your store, and actually I'm going to hop over to the control panel to show you, is, and you also have it within your website as well, but Marcherie is really kind of utilizing it in her store. But she is using a tiling effect on her site. She is using a tiling effect. So it looks like her image that she has for her background maybe goes from here to about here. And then you see that it tiles again here. And it's good because maybe you only have a swatch of a background that you want to use, and tiling it won't, you know, mess up consistency of a picture or something like that. It's definitely something that you can do. So let's hop over into the control panel. I'll be happy to show you how this was done. I'm going to go into the site layout portion and into the backgrounds. And you'll notice that the backgrounds in the store are not only different than the ones in the website, but they have a few more. A lot of these will be coming over to the Flash HTML website, so don't despair if you see something you love here and you can't have it. They're coming over, but we're putting them in the store first. We have some really great ones these neat flowers and some different medallions and, you know, really mod-looking prints. It's really kind of cool. Really, really neat ones. And of course, we have full page ones down here. These are the ones that you're familiar with. But these up here, these are tile backgrounds. So if you've chosen a tile background, let's say I chose mod flower, and I'm going to just center it. When I preview my site, that mod flower, you can't see it because it's probably right here under my template. And that's not going to do me any good. So you have the ability to use the tile feature. So again, this is a setting that you can use with your background to kind of show your background the way you want to. So let's say you have a pattern that you want to use. Using the tile setting like this, you can use it for your entire background. Now this can also be done in your store. I'm sorry, in your website. Your website also has a tile background. So if you have a little swatch of something that you like and you want to make it your background, you can definitely use it. You don't have to have a complete 1500 by 865 image as a background. Now, for example, of course, we have the ones that we provide for you. All of these are tiles. And, of course, we have our full pages. I have uploaded one earlier of a small swatch that I like. And I'll let you see it before I tile it. Let's see here. And, again, it's hidden back here somewhere. So, oh, there he is, my little owl. So I want my owl to be seen everywhere. So this is one that I found, a little swatch of him. So I'm going to go in here, and I had uploaded it myself, and I'm going to hit tile. And there you go. Now my little owl is all over my store and my blog, and I really love them. So this is a really easy feature. A lot of people like it because especially if you are about a certain pattern or you've created a pattern but you're not sure about how to use it in your site, this is a great way and also a great ability to use that tile feature, and it'll allow you to use a smaller image as your background, and you don't have to manipulate it and make it look really big and maybe pixely because it's so small. And that's, of course, what Moncherie has done here. Let me find her site. Here we go. She has done that with her background here, and I think it's just really well done. Another cool store is Caroline Madsen. Now, Caroline did not use the tile feature. Caroline created her background probably in Photoshop. Really cool effect where she kind of did an ombre sort of effect on it. It's darker at the top, lighter at the bottom. And, you know, this is really a great way to showcase her work. And it's just really pretty. She created this at 1500 by 865 and uploaded it to her store. And of course, it's always fun. It's always a great idea to get fun with your backgrounds. This is Choochie Cheeks at choochiecheeks.com. They're a lingerie store, obviously, if you couldn't tell. And, you know, they have really taken advantage of their background to kind of not only show off their personality, but really show what they do. From the get-go, you can imagine this is some sort of pin-up thing going on here, or perhaps lingerie, which it is. It's a lingerie boutique. And, you know, from the get-go, you have this cute little girl over here. It's definitely girly. There's no questions about what's happening on this background. So this is a really neat way. This is the first time I've kind of seen something like this where it's kind of almost like a billboard sort of. You know, you have your image over here kind of telling you something while you're taking a look at the site. And it's a really clever way to use the background feature. Really, really cute. So as you can use backgrounds in your store and blog sites, but did you also know that you can have a background for your logo? And let me show you what I mean by that. Let's see here. Pucker's Gourmet. Pucker's Gourmet is a pickle shop that uses one of our stores, and he's using a black background, but up here in his logo, this is a logo background. And why we call it a logo background as opposed to just a logo is usually when you upload your logo will sit in the middle about right here. You'll have about this much space, and then you're kind of good to go. But in the store and the blog, you can upload a logo background, and the logo background will go from each side of the template and fill up this whole top part here. So let's show an example of what that would look like. So if you were going to upload a logo background, you'll go to Settings, and you'll go to Logo. I'm in the wrong place here. Settings and Logo. And right here, you'll actually get the dimensions that for your logo background. 1200 by 250 is the ideal for that spot at the top of your logo. And I'm going to browse my computer. Where is my store? And I'm going to upload it. And because it's going to take up that whole space, I don't need my regular logo anymore. So I'm going to delete this. But in theory, I could create a logo background and leave it blank, and also use a logo to go over the logo background. So if you guys have a logo that you really like, but you want to have some, maybe it's a transparent logo, and you want something to go behind it, you can definitely both utilize the logo upload and the logo background upload to show you, to be able to show your logo in that cool way. And it's a really neat way. Maybe if you are planning on changing your site for seasons, or maybe for a special that you're doing, cool way to keep that could be a cool way to keep your logo in place, but behind it change maybe the theme. So that's really cool. So I am going to delete my logo. It would be distracting if I didn't. And I'm going to view my site here. And there it is. So here's my logo background. And as like I said before, I created my logo background with my logo already on it. And it's showing exactly what I want it to do. And it's going from each side, from the top to the bottom, and each side of template here instead of just in the middle. So that's a really fun thing to do, and I really like how the logo background looks with the banner underneath. It just kind of gives like a 1-2 punch when people are coming to visit your store. So using a consistent background with all of your different products can really be a great way to state your branding. And for example of that, I really like Alante Photography because they have gone above and beyond the idea of just doing 1 or 2 things in regards to their branding, but they've really taken this bouquet effect and have utilized it across all of their products, and it just looks really cool. So this is their splash intro, and if you hop into one of their websites, like the wedding, you'll see here that they're using like one of our Milan templates, and they've got this really cool bouquet effect here in the background. And like we saw there in that very first picture, or in this one, they're utilizing it the same way within their images. So instead of having just white here and white here, they created this image 1500 by 865, and with the bouquet effect also incorporated in it. So that is just such a cool idea. And talk about consistency. You have the splash intro, and now you're going straight into the website, and you know it looks really great. And so this is a little bit more work because it's not only just creating the background, but also utilizing the background in your images. But I mean, the effect itself, it's just really, really striking and cool. And I did apologize. I did want to apologize. I didn't mention at the beginning of the webinar that I'm going to probably take all your questions at the end of the webinar. So if you are thinking of some stuff, write it down, or feel free to put it into the question box, and I'll be answering them at the end. So please don't feel like I'm ignoring you guys, because I'm really excited to answer your questions as well. And that's Alante Photography, and they've just done a great job with their proofing. I'm sorry, not their proofing, I apologize, with their branding. That's really cool. Alrighty, here. Another really great site that I love in regards to branding is the one that we started on, nataliehowe.com. And this is a cool way that she is using her branding. And so her branding is obviously her logo and the dandelions here. And she's utilizing that within her background. Her logo is part of her background here, and then her little images sit on top of her background. So each one of these is an intro link. So if you're creating your splash intro, what she has done here is she has uploaded this background with the dandelions on it, and then she created an intro link for each one of these little pictures. And of course, these images she's already created with these borders on them. When you hop into Natalie's website, you'll see that she utilizes the same colors, and that's really great because that carries on the branding. But when you hop into her store or her blog, you'll see here that she is still utilizing that dandelion effect here. With the background of her store. So she's uploaded this as the background. She is also using a background, logo background up here. It goes from side to side, and of course her logo's in the middle. I would almost guarantee that her logo is part of her logo background. So that's really cool effect there. But it's a very sweet and wispy, it gives it a wispy look, a sweet look, almost like air is going through. Even with her banner images, she has the little dandelion seeds flying through. So it's really, really cool. I mean, you're getting the idea of her branding with the dandelion from the very get-go. As soon as you go to her splash page, onto her website, and over to her blog, you know, you feel like you're in one place, that you haven't left. There's no disconnect. Really great way of doing that. Kind of switching gears, this is Bavarian Soul, and I really like their site because this is their website that they've done, and they have a really cool background. It's some wooden shingles from their brick and mortar store, and they've taken a really cool high-res picture of them, and they used that for their background. But the really cool effect of it is it helps them keep their consistency between their website and their shop. So if you hop over to their store with us, it's the same background. So you don't feel like you've left anywhere. You don't feel like you're going to a whole new place. You know you're still at their website, the same place where their website was. And, you know, backgrounds really help keep that consistency, helps keep that branding. It's a real smart way of doing it. Of course, sometimes people just want to be striking. They want to say something without having to say anything, and that is definitely something that you can do with your custom background. And I love the example of Misty Mioto. She has a beautiful splash intro page. So this is her splash intro page. She created all of this in Photoshop, and she uploaded it as a background. So it's a really cool way to kind of introduce your customers to who you are, to your site, and to your photography. It looks just so rich and beautiful, and it's just a really cool way to show off who you are. And so, then again, you click onto her site, and then you're right into her site. It makes you really excited to see what's next. And that's Misty Mioto, and you can find her site at mistymioto, MIOTO.com. And then there's Click Imaging Photography. And if you had joined us last week for the Bring Your Website to Life webinar, I'm pretty sure I showed this site then as well. They just have done such a fantastic job with their background. It's just really, really cool. You can tell that they're a fun company. They do obviously a lot of seniors, a lot of family, and I think they do a lot of advertising work. Really, really fun. You're capturing that from the get-go, and their background tells a story. It's really, really cool. So of course they created this in their photo manipulation program, Photoshop or their one of choice. And then they've incorporated their logo over here on the right. They created it at 1500 by 865, and in their control panel they did that upload, and then there it is. So it is really neat. It definitely shows you how sometimes when you see the templates a lot, you feel like, well, how is my site going to look any different from the other people who use this template? Well, this is a great example of showing you how this template looks totally different from, somebody else who's using the exact same template. So we see here, I got one more to show you, and I think that's one I've been kind of popping back and forth from Tar Heel Gourmet Foods. Now this is the woe of the woe. This is their background that they decided to create and upload, and it's just really cute. Kind of tells you who they are from the get-go, kind of a whimsical way of showing it. And, it kind of gets you excited to kind of see what they do. They see what they sell and how you can get to know more about them. It's just a really, really cute way that they did that. And I really, really like their site. Oops, and they went away. It's just a really, really fun way to show who they are and the personalities coming through from the get-go. So, it doesn't mean that your background needs to be a serious thing. It could be something really fun and whimsical. It could be the opening, page of your site. This particular template is a full screen template, and it definitely could be used as the first image that your customer sees of your site instead of, maybe a regular picture or something like that. So, take some time, use some creativity. Feel free to give us a call here at PhotoBiz. I mean, we'd be more than happy to assist in any way. We can't do a whole lot of custom work for you, but if you need assistance with sizing or if you just want us to critique maybe something or anything like that, please feel free to give us a call. That's what we are here for. We would love to answer any questions that you have in regards to custom backgrounds or the backgrounds that we offer in our background bank. And I hope you guys have had some fun here today and saw some really interesting and inspiring things. I know I always really get inspired by looking at people's backgrounds, because it's just a neat, it shows you really their artistic, how artistically hard that they work. And, obviously that comes out through their work as well, but it's just really fun. You get to see a lot of cool artistic things and personality come through, especially in that background. So hopefully you guys had fun talking a little bit about backgrounds. And now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the question and answer portion. And let's see here. I'm going to hop up here and see what kind of questions you guys got here. If you do have any questions, please feel free to put them into the question and answer box, and we'll be happy to answer them. Anita asked the question, how do you know how to space so the pictures don't cover information? And that's a great idea, Anita. As you kind of saw, sometimes you have to work with the sizing of your template. Sometimes you have to work with the sizing of the background. Sometimes you have to kind of go right back into Photoshop and manipulate it, because you'll upload it and something will go right over something of your background. So it's not just like oh, I got it down and then you upload and it's good to go. It can take some work here and there, and sometimes I think that's why a lot of people just use a plain background, or maybe one of the backgrounds from our stocks that are plain, maybe the linen ones and things like that, because that's not going to cover any pertinent information like your logo and stuff. But if you are going to use your logo in the background, then you do have to be conscious of where the other elements of the template come in. Neil asks, what happens if you resize the window? Well, that's a really great question, Neil. If you have its sized, you might have remembered when we were in the control panel. When you are using those elements to resize your background, you can adjust it so that it'll always show fill as much as possible of the computer screen with the scale of fit. The stretch to fit will stretch your background to fill the entire computer screen, and then the show all. So the show all is always just going to show the image as is, the 1500 by 865, and sometimes that'll work great for you. Sometimes you want it to stretch to fit, because if somebody is going to scale down the monitor, you want them to still be able to see everything in your background. So playing with these settings and kind of adjusting your browser will really help you to kind of see how your background will be affected by that. Now, of course, give us a call if you are having any issues with backgrounds in that manner. We'll be happy to help you. Sometimes maybe a sizing needs to be adjusted, or maybe just even something as easy as a setting, and we'll be happy to assist you. How do you add a logo to the stock background? Anita, that's a great question. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to give you guys the background that we offer for you to add your logo to. Sometimes you can find something similar online. If you wanted to, you could call us. A lot of times what we can do for you here is we can add your logo to the stock background and upload it for you, since we do have access to those backgrounds. So there's some definitely workarounds that we can do with that. So just give us a call if you did want to use one of our stock backgrounds and you want to put your logo on it. Give us a call. I'd be happy to help you. Karen asks, is the studio info, such as at the bottom of Lisa Gallagher's splash intro page, created in Photoshop or through PhotoBiz? Okay, let's see. Let's find Lisa Gallagher here. Here she is. Let's see. This, the image down here, this is all part of her image. Everything down here is, she has typed that on to the picture that you're seeing on the top. So the Lisa Gallagher background image also has the wording here. But these are your intro links here, and the click for photography and the click for lifestyle photography. Those are part of the links. But all of the wording you're seeing at the bottom she created in Photoshop. Ahmed asked, 1500 by 865 and at what DPI? Well, Ahmed, we always recommend 72 DPI for any of the images you're uploading because that is the highest DPI that can be seen on the web. So sometimes if you're uploading at 300 DPI, you might see quality issues, but also it's just going to be smashed down to 72 anyway. So we recommend 72 DPI. We have one more question from Gail. How are they getting that to flash and change? So Gail, I don't know. I don't understand that question. If you want to reiterate it, maybe I'm reading it wrong. If I appreciate it. Let's see here. A couple more questions. How do you make more than one intro link on a splash intro page? All right, Karen. Well, that is something that we'd be happy to help you with here with customer support. I can walk you through it very quickly. If you are in your control panel and you're on your splash intro page, you'll notice that you have the create intro link. This is the link that will allow your customer to go to different aspects of your website or to a Facebook page or something like that. You click on create intro link and you put in the information for your link, the URL you would like your link to open, and an image to be associated with that. So if you were going to have 5 links on your splash intro page, you would create 5 intro links. And so you would do that 5 times in your splash intro, and then you associate a different image with each, and then you'd have your 5 links, or your links in general for your site. I hope that answered your question. Of course, if you did need additional help, feel free to give us a call here. Passionate Support would be more than happy to help you with that creation of that splash intro. And just real quick, I'll go ahead and give you guys the number since I have been mentioning our customer support line. It's 1-866-463-7620, and we'll be more than happy to assist you here. Okay, Gail had re-asked her question that she was noticing that on the Choochie Cheeks, let's find that one. On the Choochie Cheeks site, that they have these flashing images. Now this is our store site, Gail, and if you have our other sites, you might not know about this, but our store sites allow you to have banners on your sites, and they can rotate images here. Oh, fantastic. You do have the store site. Well, anytime you put more than one image up as a banner, it will automatically become a slideshow. So that's how they did this here. So they basically she's done here, she has about 3 or 4 banner images on her marquee page, and they are just kind of filtering through. So yeah, that's how she got that effect of the flash part, or the splash part. Margaret has a question. Are all of the Flash website customization and stock background images going to be available for the HTML5 sites? Well, that is a great question. And to be really honest with you, Margaret, right now our HTML5 sites, like the blog and the store, actually have more customizations and stock backgrounds. So we're hoping that we're going to get some of those that they have over to the Flash. But yes, as things happen, they're going to start sharing all that stuff, so everything is utilized between all the sites. And then you can have that branding like I was talking to you about before between all your sites if you're going to use a background. Rick asked if we're planning any webinars on SEO. We are, Rick. We did one in the past, but unfortunately it didn't get recorded, and it's been a couple months, so I believe that won't be here until April, though. So this is my last webinar as far as of March, as far as kind of doing the little tutorials about the control panel and things like that. So this is the last time chatting with you guys in March. But I'm hoping in April we're going to get to do a whole lot more, and I think SEO is one of them. Of course, if you guys have any suggestions of webinars that you would like to see in reference to how to use your products, please let us know. You can email myself, Jennifer at photobiz.com, or Danny at photobiz.com. We'll be happy to see what we can do about getting future webinars for other things like this. Okay, it's going to be a last call for any questions you might have. Well, you guys, it has been my pleasure to get to chat with you all today. It's been really great. If you guys have any more questions in regards to splash intros and ones that I didn't, I'm sorry, not splash intros, but backgrounds, ones that I didn't get to cover here today, please feel free to give us a call here. The customer support team, myself, and others are really excited to chat with you about this stuff. This is actually the fun stuff. You know, this is all the customization and neat things that we get to see. So we would love to chat with you about yours. Our number here is 1-866-463-7620. Hope you guys have been able to learn something and get some inspiration, and we look forward to speaking with you all soon on the phones. Thank you again so much from the PhotoBiz team, and we'll speak with you all real soon. Bye-bye.